There was a time when Jacobabad was known as a fertile and lush green city of Sindh. It was known as a city of rich people. People used to come here for doing business from different nearby cities. It was an economically stable city. Its economic stability made people transfer their business and settle here forever. At that time, Jacobabad emerged as a fast developing city in Sindh. The population of Jacobabad also increased with such a pace of settlement of business community here. The residents of Jacobabad had no idea that one day Jacobabad would have emerged as one of the hottest cities in the world. Today, the city of Jacobabad is not what it used to be. Jacobabad has crossed a temperature threshold that is too severe for human tolerance. The mixture of heat and humid air from the sea has contributed to the city crossing the temperature of 52 Celsius, which is potentially be fatal for human beings. The city having become the hottest place on earth, the residents of Jacobabad are migrating from here to some places with normal temperature. Agriculture is the biggest source of livelihood for the majority of the people of Jacobabad, and this is the sector that has been badly affected due to the extreme weather conditions. It is not exaggerated to say that Jacobabad is the only city that has witnessed the harsh effects of climate change than the other cities in the world. Due to the effects of climate change, the period of season has changed. The winter is only for 2 to 3 months here. The residents face 10 months of prolonged hottest summer here. These prolonged hot weather conditions have caused severe water shortages and affected the crop and livestock production. The fertile land has become barren here. The groundwater table is steadily declining as the lack of fresh water from the canals and rivers. The groundwater has become bitter and it is not usable for crops, livestock, and human beings. The conditions have caused poverty, unemployment, and unrest to top. The situation is a matter of grave concern for the residents of Jacobabad, where many subsist on a low income and hence limited ways to cope with the soaring temperatures. The people of Jacobabad are facing an imminent food shortages, health emergencies, and economic instability that are likely to trigger the sudden outbreak of a crisis of malnutrition and famine, which will lead to distort the peaceful coexistence in the city. These hottest weather conditions have changed the identity of Jacobabad from a wealthy to the hottest city in the world. According to Time News report that Jacobabad will not be able to live in the next few years if such a situation of extreme heat persists in the upcoming years. Jacobabad has been echoed among the world media on these hottest days. The Telegraph, AFP and Reuters have documented its distorting weather conditions. Mr. Bilal Bhutto Zardari, the Foreign Minister of Pakistan, had also shown his concern over the issues of food security crisis that might happen due to these hot weather conditions. While he was addressing to the Global Food Security Call to Action meeting of foreign ministers that was hosted by the UN. The following testimonials reveals the fact.
Jacobabad, a city in the northern area of the Sindh province, touched 50 degrees centigrade in the month of April. That is just not a temperature we're used to seeing until the heights of summer.
Jacobabad in Pakistan is one of the world's hottest cities. It is in the grip of a heat wave with temperatures rising to 51 degrees Celsius.
I'm in Jacobabad, Pakistan, one of the hottest cities in the world. It is so hot here that my head feels like it's baking in a clay oven, and this ice cube that I started speaking with is almost melted.
It's about 41 degrees Celsius. Now that, I'm told, is quite a mild day for Jacobabad. It was much hotter than that last week.
To find out the reasons for the harsh weather conditions and to know if the people of Jacobabad are ready for such a situation, we turn to the civil society of Jacobabad for their opinions and suggestions that might help to reduce the harsh effects of weather conditions. So let's hear what they have to say.
I think there are two main reasons. One is that we don't have much trees. Lack of trees is very important reason. And the second is that Jacobabad is located at the border of Balochistan. And the winds which blow over there are very hot winds, and ultimately those winds travel to Jacobabad, and those winds from Balochistan are blowing here, and those winds are very hot. Therefore, I think that is the main reason that the temperature rises to that level, I think. In these dog days of summer, media has to play a vital role. Media has to aware people that what steps should be taken in these dog days of summer. If the temperature rises of that level, so what to do, media on every platform, on social media, print media, electronic media. People should be sensitized. If the people are not sensitized, they will not take it on serious note. So the media has to play a vital role and acknowledge people that what steps they should take to prevent this hotness.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you so much for this interview. Unfortunately, this year Jacobabad became the world's hottest place, and we are responding in this extreme weather in Jacobabad. We have established 3 response centers in health center of government buildings. So we are providing the vulnerable communities by responding them in the situation of heat stroke. If any person is coming in the center, we will provide them facilities by medical facilities. My trained staff is present over there, and they are facilitating to recover them from this extreme weather and heat stroke. So it's very good that government should extend these kind of centers towards all over the district, and should take other measures to cope with this extreme weather, because the extreme weather is extending from 3-4 months towards 6 months. It started from April and to end towards October of the every year, and this one is the effect of climate change, because the climate has been changed and now the weather becoming extreme. Before 2 months, usually it was being extreme weather.
Government should establish shady spaces for general public on common places. Government should establish heat stroke centers for the benefit of general public. Public should intake water in excess. As Jacobabad situated on the Tropic of Cancer, so it is very hot in the world.
Majority of the people of Jacobabad belong to labor class. Therefore, they cannot afford heavy electronic items just like air condition, UPS, and summer during the 51 Celsius. So the labor class mostly they work on daytime and they earn their livelihood. But this is impossible to work in a daytime in 51 Celsius. And also a heavy load shedding, they cannot sleep easily at the night times. Therefore, these kind of families, they try to adjust in other areas. So mostly the people from labor class in the Jacobabad district, they migrate to adjacent area of the Balochistan, and mostly families they go to Karachi, Hyderabad to earn their livelihood during the summer season. The most very typical condition is this: there are no such health facilities in a district Jacobabad. So during the summer, there are a lot of typhoid cases, hepatitis, diarrhea, malaria increase among the people. Particularly, it impacts on the children. Therefore, there are no such standard medical facilities in a district. So the people they find good health facilities in other cities. Therefore, the people who migrate to other cities find a good health conditions there. So in a 51 Celsius, it is impossible to work in a daytime. Therefore, labor class particularly impacts on the harsh weather conditions. This is a major reason.
The people of Jacobabad should be educated and sensitized toward this alarming situation. Doing plantation is not just a solution to cope with this alarming situation. We have to stop cutting trees, protect our trees, and we have to utilize our available resources, especially the groundwater that is declining very rapidly. The government and the line department should also take their effective measures against this heat wave situation, especially the health department and media and forest department to conduct their campaigns against this heat wave situation, to mobilize and sensitize the citizens of Jacobabad to cope with this heat wave situation. Tariq Ali with my team, Irfan Ali from World's Hottest City, Jacobabad, Sindh, Pakistan.